Welcome to Rockstars, the podcast where high performance meets real life.
I'm Brent Lainger, joined by my wife, Jennifer Jones, and this is where we talk about rocks, rings, and everything in between.
It's about chasing dreams and asking, why not me?
And figuring out how to keep going when things get hard or hilarious.
Sometimes it's just us talking curling, business, family, and parenting.
Sometimes it's bigger conversations about success, pressure, and believing that anything is possible.
We keep it honest, uplifting, and fun.
We might even make you laugh.
Because this is about the wins, the losses, and real life in between. Rocks, rings, real life.
This is Rockstars. Welcome back to Rockstars, rocks, rings, and real life. The podcast where a couple of dream chasers, that's us, open up about chasing big goals, living in the moment, navigating life's highs and lows, and figuring out what comes next on and off the ice. I'm Olympian and world champion curler Brent Lang, and as always, I am joined by my incredible wife, the one and only Jennifer Jones, Olympic champion, world champion, commentator. Stop me when I'm done. I'm done. Jen, what's up for today's episode?
Well, today there's this little thing called the Olympics is coming up. We've already previewed the mixed doubles and the women's, and it's only right that we do the men's. So the men are competing for an Olympic medal in curling, and we thought we would try to preview the field.
I think so. Is there any good curlers in the field?
There's a few.
Okay. Oh, we're not there. I'm not there, so.
It's an exceptionally talented field, and it always is so deep. But like we said for the women, it is only one team per country. You look at Scotland, who has Bruce Mowat, Team White, Team Waddle, so many teams. How I'm missing one.
All the good ones.
Yeah, but they only get to send one. So Team Mowat will be going for Team Scotland. But that is a good thing for some of these other teams in the field, is that it's one team per country, and we'll see what country can pull it on top.
Do you want to tell the great people that listen to us, why I look so good right now? I'll do it. I
can do it. No, I mean,
it's for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's for me.
Oh.
I think you're trying to go back into the days when you had lots of
Trying
hair.
to flash back.
Yeah.
Langer's locks.
Langer's locks, yeah. So this is how Brent used to look back in the 90s?
Yeah, late 90s, World Junior Champs. There's the internet was barely a thing, but it was a thing. There's some pictures.
If you look, you can find a picture. Anyway, he wears this and he makes predictions on games. It has been on the Grand Slam of curling.
Yeah,
He hasn't done very well. Teams actually hope that he doesn't pick them because it usually means they're going to lose. But he's going to start his predictions. You're doing better now. You do well in the playoffs.
I didn't last slam. I didn't at the players. But the players, it was weird, man. And people were playing possum heading into the Olympics. They're getting ready for the Olympics. Bruce and the boys, they lost on purpose. They wanted to give false hope to everybody else. And we're going to talk about that today. But that is exactly what we do. And we've already done the mixed doubles and we've done the ladies event where we kind of previewed the field. And we could spend hours and hours on this, but we just want to give you a quick overview for all you curling fans who, think that our opinion matters or you're just interested in it. And then we'll do some Langer's locks. So, I think I look not very good, but it's supposed to be funny. Let's be real. It's a $38 investment. It's supposed to get some laughs and I like it. Okay. So let's just move on.
And our girls love it. They think you look good. So that's what matters.
But quick shout out to our listeners before we dive into the show. Thank you so much for listening. If you are loving the show or liking it, or even if you hate it, it makes you want to listen again, hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. Follow us on our socials at blang99 on X, and that's Laing. I don't know why the I's in Lang, but it is. And at jjonescurl on Insta. It does mean the world to us. We're really enjoying doing this. Get a little bit of a look behind the curtain into Team Jones Lang off the ice. So let your friends know, but we really do appreciate you. Let us know if there's anything you want to hear from us, rapid fire questions, also podcast topics. I'm not super creative. Jen's coming up with all the topics. So we need some help. So that's where we're at. But what are we talking about? Should we dive in?
We should dive in. This only happens once every 4 years in our sport, the Olympic Games, where all the pressure's on because you've worked for so many years, it feels like, for this one moment. A lot of teams that had the dream don't get to qualify, as I mentioned, only one team per country. But with that comes a crazy amount of pressure. You think it's maybe your only chance to do this. Some teams are back for multiple times. But let's check out the men's Olympic field. Right, you know a thing or two about competing at the Olympics. So why don't you tell us what these teams have to do in order to be successful.
Okay, first I think we should have a quick shout out to all the teams that didn't quite make it. because it's heartbreaking. You put everything you got in it for your whole life. Everybody says it's 4 years. It's like, yeah, but you don't get to compete for the Olympic trials in any country or give yourself a chance to go to the Olympics. If I started today in 4 years, you don't have a chance. So it's really your whole life. So yeah, it sucks. And you and I have both been there, but the pressure heading into the Olympics, depending on where you're from, depending on where you're at, where you're at in the world rankings, all those things change how much pressure is on you, but there's pressure on everybody for different reasons. In Canada, it was always, you may never get to go back, but these greedy Team Jacobs guys, that doesn't apply to them, but we'll get to that. But yeah, you want to bring home the hardware, especially if you're from one of the curling powerhouse countries, which there are lots now. There used to be kind of 2 or 3, and now there's lots. The lock for Canada is no longer a thing. Lainger's locks is not. I'm going to pick Canada. I'll jump ahead. I'm going to give them some props, but yeah, it's not a lock. So with that comes pressure, but maybe some of that takes some pressure off, because it used to be all the pressure because you were supposed to win. And now anybody who knows anything about curling knows that Team Canada can go to a world championship or an Olympics and they can play really well, and they might not win. That was never the case before. Not never. That was very rarely the case before. So that's that. But yeah, let's dive into the field. We've got 10 teams, just like the ladies. Slightly different teams, but a lot of repeats. Canada will go alphabetical just because we don't want to play favorites. Although I am wearing my Team Canada jersey.
Well, which one your Olympic gear?
I just love any excuse to put on the Canada gear, even if it's from 2018 where it didn't end the way it was supposed to. But Team Canada, Team Jacobs. Curling fans know Team Jacobs. So a lot of curling fans don't like them, and I love that because they've got attitude. They've got a chip on their shoulder. Brad, he doesn't give a lot of time or energy to those who don't like him, although he does entertain them on social media, and I love that about Brad. But we won't swear on our podcast, but he gives zero cares about things. But Team Jacobs, Team China, Team Zhu. These guys are playing extremely well. We'll get into kind of a little bit more about them, but Team China, Team Czech Republic, which is Team Lukáš Klima. I'm going to give their coach of the Olympics already. What a guy. Stood up for me at my wedding. He let me marry you.
He let me.
He made me. He said, "You're never going to do this good." I don't know how we got here, but get out there quick. Craig Saville, Team Germany, Team Muskatowicz, and then Great Britain, Team Mowat. That's the top half. I'll let you do the bottom half with all the different pronunciations.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
We have Joao Retornas from Italy, the hometown team, and have played very well, the Italians, over the last 4 years. We have Team Norway and Magnus Ramsfell. Team Sweden is a perennial at the Olympics. King Nicholas Edin. We have Team Switzerland in Benoit Schwartz van Berkel is the fourth thrower, but Yannick Schwaller is the skip of that team. And Team United States, Daniel Casper is the
ghost man cometh.
He is coming. He is.
I'm a fan of those guys.
Yeah, they're fun to watch, and it's their first Olympics, and they found a way to qualify.
They did it the hard way too, but we'll get into that. So let's start with the world rankings. When you get to the Olympics, what you've done before matters in your head, but it doesn't really matter unless you can put it back on the ice this week. So we will talk world rankings, maybe some season record stuff, give you a little bit of background. I'm assuming if you're listening to this episode, you watch some curling, but we're going to pretend like you don't watch a ton, and we're going to tell you who these teams are and why they're going to do well or why they might not do as well as they hope. So first up, number 1 ranked team in the world, has been for a while, Team Mowat. When they play their best, they are the best. And that's
nobody can beat them when they're their best.
It's as simple as that. 57-12 on the season, won 2 Grand Slam of curling titles, which seems like, oh, how did they not win any more than that? But hell of a year. Reigning world champions, reigning Olympic silver medalists, narrowly missing the last shot to win gold in 2022. Bruce had a very tough shot. Even Bobby couldn't quite hold it, but missed it by, I don't know, probably a quarter inch on the first rock, and they win. So are they out for revenge in Italy? That's the question.
This team is so talented at every position. They're world leading from lead all the way through to skip. Their sweeping is unbelievable. They're smart. They throw it very consistently. Bruce is a tremendous strategist. But what I think sets them apart even more than every other team is their line calling. Unbelievable. Bruce Mowat and Grant Hardy do not make line call mistakes. They may make the rare one, but it's mind-blowing to me how accurate they are and how good they are at calling line. The hits and rolls they make have never been seen before, in my opinion, in curling. It's truly remarkable.
Hollywood, always taking calls, making calls. You can cut that out if you want, or you can leave it in. I don't care. Next up is Team Switzerland. Team Schwaller, number 2 rank in the world, 46-16 on the year. Incredible record. They did win their first slam as a team. Benoit has won a few years back, but for this team, that was a big breakthrough for them, and I think gives them a lot of confidence heading in. They did finish second at the Euros, second at the World Championships last year, and runner-up at the Players' Championship. So some people will look at that and say they can't win the big game. I'm going to say they keep running into Team Mowat, and nobody can win that game when Team Mowat plays their best. But you can't win if you don't put yourself in that situation. That's what Coach Glenn Howard's telling them, because that's what he always told me. When we kept losing Brier finals, it's like, well, you got to look at the bright side, man. We keep giving ourselves chances. And when you get to a final, guess what? The other team's going to be damn good because they didn't get there by accident. So this is a hell of a curling team, Jen.
Yeah, and Glenn is super, super great for this team. He's so positive. He's giving them all kind of confidence. What I've noticed, the biggest difference, Yannick Schwaller at third is making those big shots, and Benoit Schwartz Van Berkel, the last rock thrower, he was always so good at that draw to the button, those
They call him T-line.
T-line. Yeah, that's his
T.
Mr. T. That's his nickname. And those upweight shots. But what would happen sometimes is those big shots, sometimes those game-winning shots, he wouldn't quite be as accurate or precise, and he'd miss and they would lose that game. That's been a change over the last year and a half. He's got a lot more confidence making those big moments, those big shots, and I think they're going to go under the radar. Not a lot of focus on this team, even though they're ranked number 2 in the world. The focus is all on probably Team Jacobs and Team Mowat. I think these guys are going to go under the radar and surprise a lot of people.
Yeah, top 2 teams in the world. That's where we're starting. Missing number 3 and number 4. Shout out to Ross and Maddie. I hope you guys are taking like a vacation together and just going to pretend like the Olympics didn't happen, because being top 4 in the world and not being able to go to the Olympics is, I've been there. It sucks.
It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. And it's really hard because you'll see teams that are quite a bit lower in the ranking than you at the Olympic Games. But again, it's one team per country, and it doesn't matter how deep your country is, only one team gets to go.
Not fun, but fun for these guys. Team Jacobs, number 5 in the world, 39-13. Now, only 2 semis in the Grand Slam this year, which for most teams is great. They did win the trials. That's hard to win, and they did it in convincing fashion. Kind of ran the whole week after losing their first game to Team Cooey. Dunny was real close in those finals, but they just, I think experience came through in the end. And they also won the Pan Continental. Anytime Benny and the boys put on the Team Canada jersey, they're going to get after it, and they don't want to lose. And they did just that. They won the Pan Continentals. So everything that they've circled on the calendar so far, they've been the best team at that event. Can they do it in the Olympics? It won't be for a lack of experience. I mean, like I said earlier, these guys are greedy. They don't want to let anybody else go. This will be Mark and Ben's 3rd Olympics playing. Mark's 4th, actually, because he was 5th player for for Gushu. And Brad's 2nd. Brett, this will be his 2nd, but this will be his 3rd Olympic competition by the time it starts, because he's playing in mixed doubles. So these guys are good at curling.
Yeah, and having Brett Gallant on the ice for mixed doubles, getting a kind of good feel for the ice, sweeping those draws, understanding the draw weight. Mixed doubles, you throw so many draws. They are changing the rocks for the team play, but just getting on the ice surface, getting the feel for it, it's going to be a huge asset for this team. You do have Bruce Mowat also playing mixed doubles and Yannick Schwaller for Team Switzerland. So there's lots of experience amongst these teams. But the key to this team is it's always how great their middle can be. Brett Gallant is probably the best second shot maker in the game right now. I mean, that's debatable, but so talented, and he really does set up his team. And Brad Jacobs makes those big shots when he has to. And if he can do those things, this team is in the mix, and they just have to try to make sure they convert on those extra points. They're a team that plays a lot of defense, and it'll be interesting to see how aggressive they can be and score those points to put some teams away early.
Love it. That's Team Canada. Team USA, all the way up to number 6 in the world, maybe quiet like a ghost. Danny Casper, 43-25 on the year. They won the U.S. trials, taking down John Schuster and Olympic gold medalist 2018 John Schuster. Also, the best version of John Schuster that I think I've seen this year. He's playing extremely well. The whole team is. But Danny Casper took him out in the trials and then had to go and win his spot. These guys are pretty young, inexperienced internationally. They went and they did just that. They earned their spot to the Olympics. They won the Tier 2 Slam, beating Team Kevin Cooey, if you've heard of him. And, played at the 22 World Juniors, but that's not the same animal. So love the team chemistry they have. Love Danny's attitude. He's going to enjoy every moment of the games. Inexperience, will it cost them? I don't know. They're going to be fun to watch though, folks. So tune in and check these guys out. Danny's as cool a customer as I've seen, especially at 25 years old.
Yeah, and as much as it is just not just the World Juniors, it's not the same as playing at the Olympics. But in that moment, that's the biggest event you could play in the juniors, and they played very well. I think Danny Casper, again, might go under the radar a little bit, not feeling the pressure as much as some of the other teams. Nobody's expecting them to be on top of the podium except for maybe themselves, but they're going to come and they're going to surprise a lot of people. They've won a lot of games. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did find themselves into the playoffs just doing their thing.
And NBC, I know you're listening, but you got to make a start of Aiden Johnny McEnroe Oldenburg. He's got that bandana. They gave him the U.S. bandana. He doesn't have my hair. No, nobody has this. This is terrible. But just a team of not just characters, entertaining people that play the game at a high level. And on to the next, though, the hometown heroes, number 7 ranked in the world, Team Italy, Team Returnes. Done reasonably well in the slams, but haven't won anything big in the last little while. One semi, 3 quarterfinals in the slams, 4th at the Euros, couple World Championship bronze medals over the years. Fantastic run a couple of years ago of 3 Grand Slam wins, but no huge wins on the world stage and no huge wins lately. What a time to break it out and change that hometown, even like hometown, not just home country games for these guys in a lot of ways. And the Italian Stallions, they got all the shots. There's no doubt about that.
It's the front end to me. The front end has to set up the ends. Sometimes you'll see get a couple of misses out of that unit. And if they can play super consistent and keep up with the other teams at that front end position and give Amos and Joel the opportunity to make those big shots and score multiple points and get off to a good start at this Olympics, win their first couple of games, get the crowd behind them, get that confidence. They have the talent. They have the sweeping, probably the best sweeping team in the world. That's a very bold statement. Definitely one of. There's so many good. They're just so strong and unbelievable at holding line. I do like their chances. I think it's a very, very important for them to get off to a good start.
Ride the waves. Crowd's going to be crazy one way or the other. So hopefully it's in a positive way. Next team up is Team China. Team Zhu, 11th in the world, 37-29 this year. Not super impressive, but they do play a lot. They played 12 events already. But for me, they just made the semifinal at the Players' Championship. They beat Mowat. And a semi at the Players, that says something. These guys are making a lot of shots. They finished 2nd at the OQE to earn their berth, 4th at the Pan Continentals, which nothing flashy, but can they build off that Players' Championship? And technically great. We said it about the ladies. We say it about the Chinese program in general. Technically, they're always fantastic. Tactically, strategy, it lets them down sometimes.
It sure does. But and again, this is a team that will go under the radar. Their main goal was to make the Olympics, and they did that. And so now the pressure's off. They just want to see how good they can be. And what we've seen from this team is them getting better each and every year, each and every game over this quadrennial. We didn't see them very early, saw them last year play very well, but even better this year. So if that trend continues, they're getting better and better and better, beating some of the top teams, making it go to last rock, one miss, and they're going to win that game. So, I think they're on the bubble. It'll depend on how the rest of the field plays and if they can keep their tactics in check.
Team Sweden, Team Adine. Been there, done that. Number 12 in the world, but that's kind of where they cruise. They don't really seem to care all that much or try all that hard. I've never been able to put my finger on why on the tour they're not as good as they are at the Worlds and the Euros and the Olympics. But 33 and 25 on the year. They did win the Euros for a record 8th time, so they paid attention that week. So that's a good sign for them. They only qualified in 1 out of 5 Grand Slams, which doesn't make any sense to me. Are they playing the rope-a-dope strategy, or what are they up to? I'd like to ask Nicholas. He doesn't do anything by accident. 7-time world champion. Is that good? Already has the full set of Olympic medals. So they were first Olympics 2010, 4th place. 2014, 3rd place. 2018, 2nd place. 2022, 1st place. So are they done? They just say, hey, I got the set, posse out, side door, I'm out of here? Or do they say, hey, we're still hanging around, reigning gold medalists. They're the team that took down Team Mowat, Team Great Britain in Beijing. What do you expect from Nicholas and the guys?
Oh, they're going to want to win. And in my opinion, this team gets better as a week goes on. And that's their problem at a Grand Slam, is it's a very short round robin and they don't have the opportunity to get better, and they get themselves in a too deep of a hole early and they just don't advance to that playoff round. But at these events, it's a longer round robin. They can get some games under their belt. There's practice opportunities, and they just seem sharper at World Championships, European Championships, Olympic Championships. They just get that much better. And again, you have have Erasmus Rana, their second, is playing in the mixed doubles, get that feel for the ice, for sweeping, get some confidence. They're not going to go away quietly, and they're going to be there again. Talent's there. It's just a question of if they can not get themselves into too big of a hole early, their momentum is going to carry them into those playoffs.
No free spaces on the bingo card is the challenge. So the slow start could get them here too, because it is only 9 games. But yeah, historically they figured it out. So Team Norway, Team Ramsfell, looks like a rugby team, but this is a curling team, and they're some of the nicest guys. Great characters, great personalities. 28 and 24, ranked 14th in the world this year. They did qualify to slam this year, and they won the final Tier 2 slam of the year. Lots of international experience, but not a lot of success internationally at the highest level in terms of podiums and stuff. And these guys, they're regular dudes. They've got jobs and stuff, and I don't know if that's going to catch up to them. Whereas the rest, these guys actually say no to coming to slam sometimes. Not a lot of budget from Norway Curling, which is a challenge. They've got their challenges. They have the talent. We're not telling you where they're going to finish yet. That's coming up, but that's Team Norway.
Yeah, and I agree. They're a question mark. Very talented. Just not sure if they have enough games and experience under their belts to see what they can do in these Olympics. But
Team Germany, Team Escadovitz, number 17, young German team, 26 and 26 on the year after being kind of not coming onto the scene, but having a great year 2 years ago, not this year, but last year, qualifying in the slams, winning the Europeans. This year, they haven't been good. They've played themselves way out of the Grand Slams and haven't won much. So qualified in 4 out of 10 events. Are they rope-a-doping? I think they're overdoing it if they are.
Yeah, I think their confidence is not high right now.
Don't worry about this team.
But the one thing you can say is that you got rid of all your bad games throughout the season. Now you're ready.
Yeah, you can frame it any way you like. We're due, boys. We have it in there. We won the Euros. We've got all the bad ones out. We're going in free rolling under the radar. Let's make it happen. And the last team, I worry about these guys too. Team Klima, Team Czechia, number 28th in the world, 32 and 33 on the year. They've played a lot. They've played 13 events, qualified in 6. They are coached by world champ Craig Saville. I won't give you any inside information. He'll have them ready, but he's going to have to work. He's going to need some smoke, and he's going to need some mirrors in Italy, I'm afraid. These guys, they had a great world championship last year. We watched. We were on vacation with the family around the pool, but had the curling on, and it was impressive. They beat some good teams, earned their way into the Olympics. But I think that leads us into the different groups here. And the first one is congratulations, you're an Olympian, but you're not getting a medal group. And Czechia, you guys are the first ones in there. Strap on the running shoes. You're going to have to race to get that seat at Czech House. It's supposed to be awesome in there. Johnny Moen in there, I think in 2018 said it was great. So, but yeah, for these guys, they're just not ready to compete with the big guns of the world. And their record shows it. The history shows it. And I don't mean in one game. They're going to scare some teams. They're going to beat some teams. But over a week, over 9 games, I just don't see them ending up in the top 4. So soak it all in, learn as much as you can, see some other events, become part of the Olympics and part of Team Czechia, and have the time of your lives. I know your coach is going to do it, so you better do it too. Yeah, you'll stop me when I'm wrong. So I'm right. She agrees. Germany.
I don't think they're quite ready, but they will upset a couple of teams.
And they probably know that in your heart of hearts. You can say it out loud. But I don't think they're going in there thinking we're going to win a medal. But who knows? Germany, again, I just don't see them trending in the right direction this year. They're super young. They've got the pedigree there to be long-term, great players, great team. I just don't see them contending for a medal. Huge opportunity for them, learning experience. Maybe surprise me. Maybe surprise some other people and get back to that team that they were. They play super aggressive. I personally, in watching them in the booth, think they play overly aggressive sometimes, and if they don't make all their shots, they give up big ends. There may be some tactical things they could tighten up, but I don't see them on the podium. Fair?
Fair.
Okay. Wow. Who else do I got here in my notes? Team China? Yeah, sorry guys. I mean, you were really good, and this is one that could surprise me and bite me in the ass, actually. They make a ton of shots. Strategy, I don't think, in this field and under this pressure, these circumstances, I just don't see them in the playoffs. That's my summary there. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Norway, again, incredible guys, super entertaining. They do look like a rugby team, and they play the game the right way. And I mean that. They play it super hard. They play aggressive, lots of rocks in play. But they play it with the sportsmanship, and they shake your hand after the game. They'll have a beer with you. These guys are what curling, they learned from Team Alzard, I'm sure. So that's why they're maybe the most fun team on tour these days, I would imagine.
Them and the
Entertaining.
Scottish teams, yeah, they're just such great guys. It's hard not to root for them to have some success because they're just great human beings. But I just don't think they have the record against the higher ranked teams to kind of justify a playoff spot.
I haven't seen the signs. But hey, who knows? Catch fire. Miracles do happen. Team USA, I think we kind of covered these guys: young, energetic, charismatic, super great shot makers up and down the lineup. They've beat a ton of teams this year. They've won a lot. But your first Olympics, it's going to be overwhelming. If anybody can handle it, it's Danny and the boys. But I just don't see them. The Ghost Man, wise beyond his years for sure, but nothing kind of replaces that international experience, and they just don't quite have it yet. So if they get off to a great start, who knows? They might ride the wave and not know where they are. But otherwise, I think they're going to be middle of the pack. They're going to have a great week. They're going to enjoy it, learn a ton, and future is bright. I hated hearing that when I was your age, Danny, if you're listening, but it's a true story. That's where I'm at.
And so fun to watch. Highly recommend tuning into their games.
Agreed. So that leaves us five teams. We're going to call this the Big Boys group.
Okay.
Is that fair? This is where the big boys get in the deep end of the pool and battle it out, all right? Definitely opportunities for the other 5 that we've talked about to make a run. But I think if we played this 10 times, these 5 teams would be top 5 most of the time. But so let's see who we are. They're all capable, I think, of winning the gold medal. But which of these teams do I have missing the playoffs? Let's start with the playoff teams. Because the 5 left are Italy, Switzerland, Canada, Great Britain, and Sweden. So yeah, let's start with the playoff teams. Now, I've got Great Britain and Canada in the playoffs. Those are my Lainger's locks if I had to lock 2 of them. Too much experience on Team Canada to miss the playoffs. They'll find a way. If they have to kill somebody to get in there, they'll find a way. Well, Benny would. Let's be real. And secretly Mark would too. He seems like the nice guy, but he might be the first one in line to do whatever it takes to get in there. Obviously, I say that tongue in cheek, but they're just too good, too much experience to not find a way. They'll be ready. Coach Webster will have them ready. And they've got systems in place. They've worked hard on all the little things. And they're the best team in Canada right now for a reason. They're our best representatives. They're going to go over there and they're going to get into the playoffs. Great Britain. How do you bet against the number 1 team in the world? Team Mallet.
You can't.
No, you can't. They're going to find a way. They always find a way. It would be super surprising if they didn't find themselves in the playoffs. So I'm going with them.
And they're always prepared. They don't make a lot of mistakes tactically or technically.
None.
Line calling. But what is in my opinion, their secret sauce is how well they get along, how they support each other through the ups and downs. They are a team in every sense of the word, and they're fun to watch. They're what, in my opinion, all teams should aspire to be. They're each other's biggest cheerleaders. They're out there trying to make sure that everybody performs their best. And so if stuff doesn't go well for this team early, they have the team chemistry to turn it around. And that's really what the secret sauce for this team.
100% agree. And back to Team Canada quickly, you mentioned it. I think that Brad and the guys are maybe the best team in history at controlling the hammer. They don't have to deal with the one blank end, so they won't have anything to complain about at the Olympics, hopefully. But seriously, they do control that hammer. They don't give up very many points. When you make a mistake, they take the deuce. And when you get down 2 to these guys, you're in trouble. So same goes for Bruce. They just have more offensive weapons, is my feeling. For whatever reason, they play more offensively. You don't know. They're more unpredictable. I think, if anything, Team Jacobs can be a little predictable, but they're so good at it, it doesn't matter if you know what they're going to do. They're going to do it anyway, and it's going to go well.
They're going to make
Switzerland. These guys are consistent by design. They've worked their asses off, and their results speak for themselves. They're rolled in the last 2 years. Benoit has become as good a shot maker as anybody. Pablo and Sven, great front end, great sweepers. I mean, Pablo, when he was introduced to me by Benoit, he says, "How do you like my new toy?" This was like 6 or 7 years ago, maybe not that long, but just a beast on the broom, but has become a great lead as well. And Sven, he used to skip in the slams, and now he's playing second. That's not fair. Seconds are supposed to be for guys with long hair, 5'8", not that good. You get to hide your worst player at second. Can't do it anymore. These guys are good. And then they got a great coaching staff. Have Pete, Havard, and Glenn on the bench. I mean, 2 of the best dudes in the game, and they know the game inside and out. They both have their roles, and these guys are ready. I have them in the playoffs.
I do too. I think they are ready, and they just had too consistent of a season. Yannick Schwaller playing mixed doubles is going to help him at skip. He does skip this team and throws third, so he'll know the ice, where to put the broom, no draw weight. I think that's going to be a huge advantage for this team.
So Sweden and Italy. I got to make fans of one and enemies of the other. It's King. He's King Nick for a reason. I got him in the playoffs. They're going to find a way. Oscar, when he's motivated and whatever it is, whatever switch he flips, or whether it's a pair of socks or underwear he puts on, I don't know what it is. But when he does, he might be the best player in the world. And the front end, Christopher and Rasmus, they don't get talked about, but they don't make any mistakes. And then Nicholas, when he's hot, which is all these big events, they're just so hard to beat. So I just can't see them missing the playoffs. I would love to see Team Italy make a run, not just for Coach Fry or despite Coach Fry. No, kidding. But yeah, I mean, somebody's got to be on the outside looking in. And I've got it as Italy. They've been good, but not great. These other teams, the pedigree, the experience, not having to worry about home games. That's who I got. Those are the 4 playoff teams. You got Italy instead of Sweden?
No, again, you can't bet against Nicholas Sedin at one of these major events. Like I said, they just seem to turn it up, and 10 ends is better for their game. They just need a little bit more time. Nicholas he's very creative. You look at that spinner shot he had. He's always trying to find ways to kind of up the competition, and it's really hard to bet against them in these settings. So I have them in the playoffs as well. Cool.
So now the hard part. And this is just on me. I'm not even going to ask for Jen's opinion because it's Lainger's locks for a reason. This is the one thing I own. Who's going to win? Now, I had Great Britain written down, but you guys let me down in the last slam. So I'm going homer. I'm going double gold for Canada, men's and ladies. Team Jacobs. Cupsy, you're going to find a way. You're bringing it home for Canada. Jen's smiling. So what is she going to say? But that's who I got. The boys are going to find a way. Team Canada's going to get hot, play great. I don't know who they're going to beat in the final, but it's going to be either Sweden, Switzerland, or Great Britain, depending on where the semifinals will fall. But that's who I got. I got the gold's coming home, baby, back where it belongs. Cool. If that's the end of the teams, I think we're getting close to wrapping up here. As always, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Follow along on our socials. We want questions. We want podcast topics, all of those things. I hope everybody's going to tune into the Olympics.
You should. The Olympics, honestly, this is your opportunity to watch sports you might not have otherwise watched as well. Watch the curling, obviously, because it's the best. And you'll have more broadcast time of curling than any other sport. So you can't say you didn't know when it was on. It's going to be on pretty much all day, every day. But watch other sports that you don't necessarily get to see. I know one of the sports that I loved when we went to the Olympics was short track speed skating. Never watched it before. It's so much fun, especially live. If you happen to be in Italy, I would check it out. But watch it on TV. It's amazing how much it's like a flurry of what happens in that. So support your country, support your team, and definitely watch the curling. You'll hear myself commentating on CBC with Joanne Courtney and Mike Harris and Bruce Rainey. So we're going to be calling all the Canadian games and some other games. Hopefully you'll tune into that, and I'll try to provide some insights. I know Brent and I are going to be trying to do some more podcasts from, he's going to be in Italy.
Milan,
yes.
Sitting on the Italian red wine, watching some curling, meeting some international people who want to learn more about curling. So I got a tough job. I got to do that like for a couple days.
So we're going to try to kind of give you some behind the scenes, up-to-date Olympic content of what's going on at these games, whether it's curling or other sports, and just our opinions, and probably try to share some other insights into how we're balancing our family where we're both gone at these games. They're going to raise themselves, right?
That's right. That's the rapid fire question. How do you guys abandon your children like that all the time and call yourselves good parents? I don't know who sent that one. That one's sent from Carol Jones. Oh. That's the answer.
Yeah, that is the answer. And you know how many times we've actually, people have taken the time to write us a letter to tell us that that is not the appropriate way to parent. But for us, our girls dream big, and they encourage us to do this. They love watching. They're sad when we both retired from curling because they love watching us inspire them by chasing our dreams. And, you know, we make sure that we talk to them every day, and we're very present even when we're not physically present. And we know that when we are here, they get 100% of our time. So it's been quite the journey, but it's my mom. Without Grandma Carol, this would not be possible. They have just, she has kind of stepped in and just been there for them, and they love her to bits. And so she will come and drive them to all their activities.
That's right. Thanks, Grandma Carol.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, we're nothing without you. So
it is village. It's a village.
It doesn't take a village. It takes a Grandma Carol.
She is a village.
She is a village. But Thank you, everybody. That's a wrap for this one. Thanks for tuning in. Keep rocking the chaos, chasing the adventures, loving the ride, and please never stop dreaming. So we'll see you next time on Rockstars.